Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We have another special song for you guys today. This is a Greek song. It is, cannot read that. I also realized that every single Greek song I've done, it's always in Greek. It's never in like an English, it's not like written, it's never written in English. I do know for a fact it's by Christakis, and I know he's a very popular figure in Greek entertainment. I can read this 1968, so I can read something at least in here. But I know for a fact, I'm very excited to give this song a listen to. If you've been keeping up with my channel, you know I've reacted to quite a few Greek songs, and very old Greek songs especially too, because I find there's a lot of similarities between Greece and Southern Asian culture, and even Eastern European countries have a lot of similarities with both the South Asian side and everything. So I'm always very surprised by that when I listen to these songs. But without further ado, I can keep on talking about this. This is Christakis, and this is, I believe the English translation is "The cold is bitter." I think that's what it is. I can't wait to listen to this. Oh, yes. Yes. Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Έχω πόση ώρα στη γωνιά, μπρος στο παραθύρι σου, λιώνω για χατήρι σου καλέ. Θα με φάει ταγιάζει παγωνιά από τη δική σου απονιά. Είναι το κρύο, είναι το κρύο τσουχτερό, να το αντέξω δεν μπορώ. Εδώ θα με βρουν στην πόρτα σου νεκρό.
What was that guy doing? It looked like he was wiping his... He looked like he was wiping himself. Hold on. They got rid of that. So funny. Wow. But all I can say... This is exactly why I love listening to old music. I think there's just so many things that are going right in this song. For example, the music is absolutely beautiful. It keeps you in touch. It actually kind of reminds me of a mariachi music almost, if it's the Mexican kind of music you listen to. But it's the very upbeat kind of, kind of that kind of stuff too. This seems like it's in a film. I feel like we're watching something in a movie. So that's why I'm a little curious. I wonder if this is actually in a film or not, because I think I've listened to other older Greek songs, and I think they were also in either a live performance or a film, which I really do want to know. But all in all, fantastic song so far. I love this music. So good. Okay, this guy.
Ξέρω έχεις μέσα σου καρδιά, κι άσε τα γυμάτια σου να χαρείς τα μάτια σου καλέ, και μη με μπερδεύεις άλλο πια. Έλα πριν με φάει παγωνιά. Είναι το κρύο, είναι το κρύο τσουχτερό, να το αντέξω δεν μπορώ. Κι αν δεν ανοίξεις να σε δω, θα με βρουν στην πόρτα σου νεκρό.
Oh. I already can tell this is a very iconic song in Greece. Am I wrong? Please definitely tell me if I'm wrong. But there are a few things I really do want to point out. First off, I feel like this has to be in a movie. I feel like the kind of camera quality that I'm seeing, it has to be from a film. And you always have that one background actor, or she could be a main actress, I'm not sure, who's always looking at the actor. And I feel like this is very similar and at least in Indian movies as well. So I love that. I also love, I think this is a comedy type song. I can already tell. I have the lyrics pulled up over here as well on the right, because sometimes it's hard for me to watch the thing and I like focusing on the actual music video instead of just looking up and down. So for me, luckily I was reading the lyrics a little bit beforehand, and he's just basically stuck outside the window, and I love that. I think it's really funny too. He's just like, let me in, I'm gonna get frostbitten. But one thing that's kind of also undervalued, I think, is his actual acting, his expressions in the actual song itself. I'm gonna turn the music a little bit. But you can tell, it's. I can tell this is kind of a comedy song, and also from what I'm understanding here too, this. This is definitely a comedy song. I feel like it has to be, but this is Christakis, and it's not just him singing the song; it's him acting it out, and that's what I want to show. Look at him. I think it's kind of like a mockery of like, hey, like let me inside. It's so cold. That's so good. A couple other things that I really do want to talk about. That's something that kind of left an impact on me. Of course, it's the expressive vocal delivery that he has. I think, as I've mentioned before, even in live performances, it really does make the song that much better if you have the artist actually vibe with the song they're singing, right? And now if I were to sing something like right? But even with Anna Vissi in her songs too, she's like right? It also makes such a big impact, right? Even if you're in public speaking, when you're reading out loud, it's so much more different. And I love that he's doing that, because it also adds a bit of flavor to the actual song itself. Now, it's obviously, this is a love song, you can tell. It's a little humorous there. There's a bit of rejection in there because she's not opening the door and this man is freezing. So I love that. I do want to say, if this is an actual movie, if this is from a movie, I want to know what movie it is. Actually, if it is from a movie, I can probably look that up myself, but I want to know what movie it is and if it's iconic in Greece as well. I want to know if people grew up watching these songs. One of my favorite parts about listening to these old songs is I feel like that's the kind of real music from that country, from that culture, that you're not used to listening to. Like, if you listen to modern Greek music or even modern American music, it's so different than what it used to be, right? Things have changed, right? And I can give you an example, maybe in American culture, if you guys are familiar too, with the crooning thing that Dean Martin used to do back in the day. And Frank Sinatra was much of a crooner, but Bing Crosby, Dean Martin, all these people who kind of made that into a genre by itself. And now I'm sure that this back in the day was probably the iconic genre to do in terms of music in Greece back in the day. And you can even tell, because when I've listened to a couple of the older Greek songs that I've listened to as well, I think it's the same thing. But I think my favorite type of genre for any country that I've listened to is always songs from the golden period of that country. So for example, from the 50s, this is from the 60s, that time when I think the industry was just starting to kind of flourish. And that was kind of the golden age of cinema and music. And I think it feels like that's the case for every single country, because it's just so iconic. It's so lovely. I mean, this is something that I'm sure people are singing to and listening to in this day and age. So I think that's really cool. I do want to see more songs of him. I feel like I think I've mentioned this before too, as I was talking about this, but I can already tell this is an iconic song. And I know for a fact he's an iconic man. I definitely get that vibe from him too. Other things, there's really not much more for me to say other than this is a fantastic song. And if you are Greek, or if you are familiar with the Greek language, Greek culture, and songs like this, I hope this is something that you also listen to, even in this day and age. I know for a fact many people may not listen to it because it's old, but I still think it has that level of the level of being iconic, But thank you all so much for watching. If you are Greek, if you listen to Greek music, please let me know in the comments below what you think of this song. If you have any songs from your language, your country, or culture that you want me to react to, I would absolutely love to do that. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Christakis, and I definitely will listen to more of his music, because when I clicked on this video, there was a lot of songs that I saw, or at least a few songs on my recommended playlist from him. So for a fact, get ready for the future, because Christakis will be back. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.